Creature from the Black Lagoon. Shocking in the realism of the screen's first underwater three-dimension thrill. Grimly, men of daring venture into a dread world underwater, stalking a creature of frightening fury, a creature stirred to strange emotions by its first sight of a woman. You'll see the most amazing underwater photography that the screen has ever known in this strangest of all science fiction adventures. Creature from the Black Lagoon, starring Richard Carlson and Julia Adams, even more amazing in 3 dimensions.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another disaster-ridden episode of Defending My Collection, the collection of videos where I show off my Blu-ray collection to everybody that decides to watch. And as I go through each and every one along the alphabet, I sometimes talk about them and tell you what I think of them. And we're actually in the middle of Season 2 of Defending My Collection, which is the 3D movies. Oh boy, those of you who fell down this hole of lunacy are in for a little treat, hopefully. I don't know how it's going to go today. That last one was just wacky, wasn't it? This one, I don't know what we're going to do, so we're just going to go right with it. Those new viewers, yeah, this is the series of videos where I basically do what I just said prior to this. And there's not much else I can really think of other than, Please leave your comments down below if you enjoy, if you have any comments of this goofy-ass video. Anyway, I never know how to start these other than that little spiel that I do. And, yeah. Oh, the only thing I'll have to say is, since doing the E's, which were a few videos earlier, I have recently watched the movie Everest. And I give the movie a thumbs up. I enjoyed the movie. It was very adventurous, very edge of your seat, edge of your cliffness. Josh Brolin, Jake Gyllenhaal, and a whole bunch of other people in the thing. The 3D I thought was pretty damn decent, very adequate for the movie, especially being up on mountains and cliffs and hills, and there's a lot of depth and gives you a lot of dizzying feeling and all that type of fun jazz. But I just wanted to throw that little review in. I did do an IMO review, which will probably be, when do I post those? Saturdays, I think. Yeah, so not tonight. Well, I'm doing this on Saturday. Spoiler. These air on Monday. I usually do them I record them either on Thursdays or Saturday. Today I'm recording it on a Saturday. So tonight you're going to get another IMO review from a week ago. And then the Everest one is already done. It's already set to go live next Saturday. So you will see that review then. The only other thing I wanted to talk about real quick before we start with the P's. We're doing the P's and the Q's and the R's today. Actually, we're not. We're doing the P's and the R's today because I have no Q3D movies, which makes me wonder, are there any movies? There's not many movies starting with the letter Q anyway, are there? There probably are tons of them, but not in 3D, at least not the ones I have. So it's basically just going to be the P's and the R's and everybody saying, just get to it, damn it. I don't want to see you bull crap. But anyway, I picked this up recently. Actually, I got it delivered this last week, and I have yet to watch it, but I thought it was such a great deal that I needed to pick it up. And it's, I don't know where to put it, because it's a triple feature. It could be under the D's, it could be under the W's, or it could be under the M's. But since I'm just going to throw it in here now, like I said, I don't know where I'm going to put it. I might put it in the D's because the first disc is called Dinosaurs Alive. I'm talking about a 3D triple feature here. Dinosaurs Alive, Wild Ocean, and Mummies, The Secret of the Pharaohs. I believe it's narrated by Christopher Lee. Who does Michael Douglas does the dinosaur one, and I don't know who the Wild Ocean. I don't know. I hear it's about sardines. Anyway, $12 for 3 movies. 3 IMAX films. And if you've seen my previous videos, Defendings, you know how I praise the IMAX 3D movies. Their presentations are always very good. But the thing is, they didn't squeeze them all on one disc. You got actually 3 separate discs for $12 on Amazon. I believe it's still there now. So if you don't have this in your collection and you got $13 with tax, I guess, dollars and cents to spare, pick this up. I haven't seen any of them yet. They're all about an hour long. 40 minutes, and 39 minutes. So they're not an hour long. But if you play it on a slow speed in points, it'll drag it out a little bit, and then you can get an hour's worth of each one. Anyway, like I said, I didn't know where I wanted to put. What am I talking about slowing down? I don't know where to put it, so I just figured I'll just throw it in here as an extra. It's a pickup, a Rogers pickup that I don't do many of because I don't have many of money. All right, the first pick of the day for the peas. The peas, we're all peepity-poopity-poppity-pee. Peter Petterson's Pet Big Porky ate pie. He ate so much pie he popped. You know what that's from? Yeah, I'm not going to tell you, but I used to listen to that album all the time. And that was one of my favorite tracks. Next to I'm Gonna Buy Me a Dog. That was another favorite track of mine. Well, the first movie of the 3D Peas is a great movie. Of course, if I say Guillermo del Toro, you'll go, oh, he's talking about that. Yeah, PA, that would be first. The 3D is phenomenal in this presentation of Pacific Rim. The giants and the monsters and the manga and sci-fi and whatever you want to call this movie has a fantastic little lenticular, well, it isn't fantastic, but it's not too lenticulous, but it's all right. Slipcover. We're going to do that again. Boo-boo-boo. Yeah, didn't see this at the theaters, and everybody says it was big and spectacle, and I believe it played on IMAX screens and all that. But with most things, because I don't like dealing with crowds anymore, I'm pretty much an introvert. I'm an extroverted introvert, if you can think of that. Does that make sense? Extroverted introvert. Because I'm doing these videos and I'm extroverted. But I'm an introvert because I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to stay home, watch my own stuff on my own TV screen, and pause it to go pee or eat or whatever. Yeah. So I didn't see these at the show, but I immediately picked it up when it came out, and the movie is fantastic. I really like it. 2-disc set, I believe. No, they're stacked. Oh, they did the old Stacky Rooney thing, which people don't like. I hate it too. Let's see what's under here. We got the DVD. Of course, I put the DVD down first. And then we got the Blu-ray on top of the DVD. And then the old little nice 3D one is all alone, so it doesn't get damaged. Damaged, damn it. Pacific Rim, man. What a phenomenal film. What a spectacle. And like I said, the 3D really is great in this. It's a full 16:9, fits your television screen image, and the colors are vibrant. From the opening, the shot where it looks like you're in outer space with stars and they're all coming to you, and then you realize you're under the water, and then the fishes come along, and it's like, whoa, we're in 3D land now. And yeah, a lot of people, it's like, nah, but I think most people really enjoyed, most movie people really enjoyed this film. There's rumors that Pacific 2 has been canceled. Guillermo keeps coming out and saying, no, it's going to come, and be nice to see another one. But we shall see. We shall see what we shall see when we shall see it. Shouldn't we? Shall we? This movie was literally panned by the critics. Pan. Yeah, everybody's like, pan. Why do you get panned for? It's kind of a cool lenticular. This was a blind buy. Basically, again, I think I always put it in the little message area down below, where I praise Bluray.com, the 3D forum area of Bluray.com. Whenever a new that high voice popped in again. I'm going in puberty backwards. Whenever a movie comes out, I always kind of go to Bluray.com and read the reviews. to the early reviews of people who have gotten the disc and have either praised the 3D or at least said what it's like. And I heard a lot of great stuff from this. Not a whole lot, but I did hear those people that did see it thought the 3D was really good. So I instantly went out and bought it. Blind buy. I knew it was a modern take of Peter Pan. I remember seeing the trailer and thinking it looked atrocious. Excuse the belches. When do I not belch? I really thought it looked atrocious. It was like, what? This does not look like Peter Pan at all. And then after seeing the movie and realizing that this was pretty much like the origin story of how Peter became Peter and how Captain Hook was a good guy. He was a hero, like an Indiana Jones type of character, always making goofy little lines here and there and trying to save the day. And then we don't know if there's going to be a Pan 2, but we don't know what turns Hook into an evil person. But anyway, yeah, the 3D in this is really, really well done. This is a conversion from what I understand. I believe this is a conversion too. And they did it right. The directors, both directors, I think, had 3D in their mind when they were filming and framing certain shots, especially the ending of this when they're in the ice crystal area and the ships are like flying in outer space and through things. And it's really, again, it's beautiful eye candy. Everybody pans this thing, but when seeing it in 3D on a great surround system and a great monitor and a good 3D setup, it's spectacular. It really, really is. There's a lot of weirdness in it. I mean, like them breaking out into like Nirvana songs, and it's almost like I kind of equate it kind of like a Baz Luhrmann's Pan, you know, even though he didn't direct the thing at all. Who actually did direct this thing? Of course, they're not going to show the credits on the back. Here we go. Joe Wright, who I don't really know much. I'm looking at the tech people. Can't tell anybody. And the only real person that I know in this is Hugh Jackman. And Rooney Mara's in this. But I had a great time with this. I'm glad this is in my collection. If you do have a 3D setup and you've been kind of passing this on the shelf, pick it up if it comes down in price. If you don't want to spend too much. 2 disc or 3 stackable. That's yeah, they stacked it again. It's 3 discs, but the DVD is and the Blu-ray are on top, and my 3D is separate. But they're doing that now with they're stacking discs. Instead of putting the little plastic flap thing, and they're saving money and charging us more. Anyway, I'm enough on this. I enjoyed Pan. I really did, and I saw it twice already. And the second time, I liked it even more. And the presentation is really, really good. This was a lot of fun. Another one of those that I didn't see it at the theater. I didn't see any of these at the theater, unless it's an old one. But this was. This just looked really cool. It's from the makers. The makers or the writers. The makers of Coraline, which I really liked, and that was old Babadoo, I can't think of his name. Anyway, I'm talking about Paranorman. Paranorman was pretty cool, man. I mean, it's cool to see a kids movie or a children's family or a family film, kids, children, family film, that has a creepiness about it. You know, it's like a Frankenweenie or a Coraline, you know, where it's not afraid to go into some dark places. And Paranorman, I should really correct myself here. I did. Correct. Shut up. I'm trying to do this. Will you just shut the hell up and go on? All right. Yeah, Paranorman was a good time. I enjoyed it. The 3D, from what I can remember. There we go. Blu-ray. 3D Blu-ray. Yep. No stackables. It's been... I have actually, to be honest, I only watched it once, and that was when I got it. So whenever this was actually released was when I watched it last. So I can't really give you that much of a critique on how good the 3D is, but I do remember enjoying it as a movie itself, and the story and everything. So, and the character designs and things. So Paranorman is in my collection. Speaking of movies that you can't remember, I literally seen this movie twice, and I cannot tell you anything about it. Mr. Peabody and Sherman. Boy, I grew up watching these original cartoons Fractured Fairy Tales, and I believe this was part of the Bullwinkle Show series of cartoons. But I loved those. They were little history lessons with a little quirkiness to them. And old Mr. Peabody was the dog, and Sherman was his pet boy. And they would go in the Wayback Machine and go through history, and lots of puns, lots of goofiness. It touches on it, but whereas I'm going to talk about my next movie, which really, really stayed true to the heart and the style and the dialogue and the writing of the originals. This one seemed to have strayed and went into the crazy wackiness. Plus, they had a girl accompany them in their voyage, and I like I said, I'll do it this way too. It looks wacky because it's upside down, but no, he's right. Here's the back. Yeah, for someone who enjoyed these, that's why I picked it up, and I was kind of like, well, it's meh. It's meh. It's adequate. 3D, I think the 3D was pretty damn good in this, from what I remember. I do seem to remember a few little pop-outs here and there, but all in all, it was, boy, my voice is cracking. All in all, it was, like I said, forgettable. I couldn't even tell you. I think the girl stole their time machine with Sherman, and all I remember is Robert Downey Jr. does Mr. Peabody's voice. So maybe you got to watch it again. Yeah, but this one is a more recent acquisition, and like I said, I was so worried because I thought we were going to see these characters twerking and doing rap and all this other stuff that Hollywood likes to modernize the classic cartoons and things and make them modern for our modern kids that are bored with just the simpleton of what these were. And as simpleton as this series is, the Peanuts movie, the Charlie Brown, Snoopy, Linus, Lucy, Pigpen, all of them, Peppermint Patty. Man, I grew up watching this stuff, the specials that were on television and reading all the books. I did an IMO review. You can go back in my past videos and check out my review and my take on this. A little disappointed, there's that crack, with the 3D. I wish the 3D was more enhanced. I mean, it's good, it's there, it's depth, but especially with the Snoopy and Red Baron stuff. But I wish there was more of a toy-like, a roundness, like Pixar's. They kept it pretty flat with just a little bit of roundness. I brought up in my IMO review that the old Viewmasters that we used to watch or look at as a kid had a few Peanuts Viewmasters, and they actually like created these little dolls of all the characters, and they made these scenes and with cool lighting and everything, and then they photographed those in 3D. So when you looked on the Viewmaster, it looked like they were toys, like you could just reach and want to grab them and hold them and have these little characters, like the Mezco South Park or Family Guy figures. You know, they're perfectly round. It was like that. And I was kind of disappointed that the 3D in here, the animation style wasn't like that. But being that it was somewhat flat, it fit the original shorts and episodes, the specials that were out. And yeah, I was very happy with this. Apart from 2 songs that were pretty much modern songs, they weren't obnoxious. They seemed to fit really well, the end credits, and then there was another one, I think, during the dance at the school. But I loved seeing. That was one of my worries when they were going to have a dance at the school. I'm like, oh, here it comes. Now we're going to hear rapping. Charlie Brown or Snoopy's going to rap or something, you know, because they started doing that with Snoopy becoming Joe Cool, and it was like, what are you doing that? Snoopy is, you know, but Joe Cool worked, and that was fine. Those of you who know what I'm talking about, but no, they did all the, you know, Charlie Brown Christmas. There's that scene where they're on the stage and they're all dancing and they're just going like that. Or like that. They dance just like that. And the way the creators kept it true to the original Peanuts cartoons and specials. I was so happy about that. So yeah, I picked it up, and I used the stick thing to get the sticker off, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Here are the discs. 3-disc set. 3D Blu-ray, DVD, I believe. And that be that. And moving on, moving right along. This is a spin-off from the what was the last? Oh, Madagascar, Afro Circus, Polka Dot. Yeah, Madagascar 2, or was it 3? Which is a great 3D disc to have. They spun off the penguin characters, and they did the Penguins of Madagascar. Flat, boring. Is it DreamWorks? DreamWorks, no lenticular, nothing, just flat slipcase. But it's a slipcase nonetheless. From what I remember, this was fun. The penguins are okay. I mean, back in the 80s, I was a big penguin fan. Before penguins were the thing. Before the March of the Penguins, and everybody started loving penguins, my favorite animal of all time. This was back like in the 80s and early 90s. I loved penguins. I had little stuffed animals, I had little figures, and little, you wind up, and Penguin was always one of my favorite villains on the TV Batman show, the 66. Although I like Danny DeVito in the Batman Returns, we talked about that. So penguins were always my favorite animal, and yeah, from what I remember, this it's pretty good. I only saw it once when I first got it, and it wasn't pop out crazy like Madagascar 3 was. So I don't think I've ever went back, or it was a busy month and I got other movies and I watched those more than I watched this. But yeah, it's all right. Like I said, it's been a while, so I can't remember story-wise, or I can't remember 3D-wise how good it is. So you'll just have to take my word on it, and just accept that it's in my collection. This was I believe this is the first Criterion 3D release, and that was the one main reason I wanted to get it. The second main reason, when I was in college, I took dance. I took filmmaking, I did screenwriting, creative writing, I did makeup for film, makeup for stage, I did acting, but filmmaking is where I kind of, swayed to and made people canners and things like that. But there was a class I had which was a dance class, and it was a modern dance class. So I got my toe wet in the this is expressionism dancing, and this is kind of cool, modern expressionism. Am I saying that right? I can't even talk today. But I had heard of this. What do they call them? They're not composers. They're dance teachers. German modern dance. Dance pioneer. Well, anyway, it's Pena, and I'm not even going to say the last name. This is. I mean, people would probably get very bored with this unless they're into the type of dance that they do in this. Being in 3D, it's freaking amazing because you feel like you're right there on the side of the stage watching them, the depth of the dancing and the characters, and it's not all stage stuff. There's stuff that they do. Oh, there's some beautiful stuff that they do out like on a location. I believe it's the second one when the guy and the woman and the girl's falling back and he's. You have to see it to understand. Criterion, again, is beautiful with their huge discs, booklets that they put in. And again, if you're a 3D, the 2 discs, if you're a 3D fan, aficionado, Chicago speak, aficionado, pick up the Criterion. It's worth it. It's worth it just to have a Criterion that's in 3D. And it's worth the amazing dance. I'll never forget the first time I put this in, and it started, and the music they used was the Stravinsky's The Rite of Spring. And I was floored by it because I knew that piece of music. That's one of my favorite classical pieces of all time. And I used it. I made a little movie in the 70s called Our Invaded Earth about an alien coming down. And he starts off nice, and then he goes a little crazy, and then a cop starts chasing him, and the alien has a zapper gun and makes things disappear. And I've never put that up anywhere. I do have it transferred to a digital disc, but I have not went in and remastered and edited it because it doesn't have a real beginning and a real end. The guy I had doing the special effects at the time was supposed to do things like the ship landing and stuff, so we never got to do that. And then the end when it's trying to take off and then it explodes. We never had those special effects. But he did do the laser gun special effects, and it was very Star Wars-like with the light beam. But again, him being new, doing the special effects, and working on Super 8 film, which was real grainy to begin with. When you're doing a double layer for special effects, the grain even goes up even higher. Like if you watch a Harryhausen movie, some of the movies are crystal clear, but then when you see his animated characters, the grain goes way up high because it's a double image special effect layer that's put on there. Anyway, the music I used for that short was Stravinsky's Rite of Spring. So from the early 70s, because I listened to music, like rock music, in Chicago, but my brother kind of got me more into classical music and then going into soundtracks. That was my upbringing. So I heard a lot of classical music, famous classical pieces for a long time, and they're in there. And when those things come out, the memories come out. And so anyway, I'm talking about Pena. Yeah, pick up Pena. It's a 3D release by Criterion. I believe it's the only 3D release by Criterion. So pick it up. It's great, especially if you love modern dance and you love that dance. What's her last name? Bausch, B-A-U-S-C-H. Pena Bausch. I'm not even. It could be Pena. Wow, this was okay. This is the third. Let's see. We talked about Monster House. We talked about Drive Angry, and this is the third. When I bought my 3D player for the first time, my very first Sony from Circuit City, which is no longer around. I believe I mentioned that in the last video. I picked up 3 3D movies. One you could get just as because you're buying the player. One that came with the player, you had to do the mail-in, which was Avatar. And then I picked up 2 other ones. One was Monster House, one was Drive Angry, and the other was Piranha 3D. Looking at this now, I can see how bad of a conversion it is. When I first got it, being that it was one of the first of 3 3D movies. I mean, Drive Angry out of the 3 is the best. Monster House is second best, but it has the 2x35 of the black on the top and the bottom. This filled up the screen, and it was just fun. It was meant to be in 3D. The fish and the penis and the depth and the gore and all that. It was meant to be seen like in 3D because of the gimmick. It's not. It's supposed to be taken tongue-in-cheek. This is not supposed to be serious. It's goofy. Everybody's seen this. You've seen this. You either hate it or you like it. But boy, I enjoyed it. Now I watch it, and like I said, I can see things. There's Richard Dreyfuss says, "Hoopa! Hoopa!" You can see, the Clash of the Titans thing, where it's like there's the face and the hair, but if you look behind the outline, you can kind of see there's like another image back there that they just kind of pronounced the front. I noticed that especially with the hoopa scenes at the very beginning, but it's a fun movie, and it's a good gory movie, and it was one of my first. So, and then of course when the Piranha 3 Double D came out, I had to pick that up. And John Gulager, who, gosh, I don't think the guy gets enough praise. He hasn't done a whole hell of a lot. Offspring of Clu Gulager, who everybody knows. Return of the Living Dead, Rabid Weasels, all that. Rabid Weasels, Bert. Sound like someone knocking at my door. Somebody ringing the bell. It's very gloomy and windy out right now, and snowy. Yeah, snowy. April 2nd I'm doing this on, and it's very snowy. So anyway, John Gulager, I love his Feast films, all three of them, as the trilogy. I loved his first one. I thought it was fantastic, which was part of the Project Greenlight, I think it was called. The Ben Affleck, Matt Damon show they did, where they basically follow a director as he makes his movie. And the third one they did was John Gulager making Feast and all the trials and tribulations of that. Sadly, that's not available. The other 2 seasons of that show, Project Greenlight, are available on DVD along with the movie. For some reason, the John Gulager Feast series has never been released on DVD or anywhere. I think you can see bits of it on YouTube, and it looks great. I would love to see the whole thing of the making of not this, but Feast. And then yeah, they dug him up from wherever he disappeared to and says, "Hey, you want to do the Piranha sequel?" He said, "Yeah," and it's just as crazy as Feast. It's I don't know if I'd say it's better. It's a different because it's in a pool now as opposed to an ocean. How do piranhas get in a pool? Like a water park, you know, it slides and all that. I'm not going to tell you. You just have to see it for yourself. But it's a lot of fun, and I wish there was a third one because the way he ends it, spoilers, where the piranhas now can kind of walk and get out of the water and attack you on land. And the final shot is just brilliant in my eyes with the kid and the head. That's all I'll say. I'm pretty much spoiling the whole thing. But no, it isn't. It isn't. And the 3D really works in this. It's at least for as goofy. This is like a Sharknado film. You know, I just posted on Facebook the new what they finally announced the name to the 4th Sharknado movie. It's called Sharknado: The Fourth Awakens. How great is that? I mean, the third one, Sharknado 3, Oh Hell No, is very good. But and Sharknado 2, the second one, is pretty cool. But Sharknado: The Fourth Awakens, that's just great. I love those movies. I've talked to go look at my S's. You hear me gush about those movies. But this is just like those Sharknado movies. They're not to be taken seriously. They're really goofy as craziness. We got a 3-disc set for Piranha 3 Double D. Boy, it's getting cloudy out now. Wow, it's like a blizzard out there. Just a bit disappointed. I mean, when will they're making another one. They're making another damn movie. And it'll probably be in 3D, and I'll probably end up getting it. And I kind of, they're guilty, well, you're not supposed to say guilty pleasure, because you either like them or you don't, and you don't try to hide the idea that you like them. The Pirates of the Caribbean, or Caribbean movies. One of my favorite rides is Disney of all time. Haunted Mansion, this, and Space Mountain were my favorite and Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, which they don't have anymore. But that shows you how long ago, when I was one of the times I went to Disney, it was in the 70s. They had this Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, and that was a wild ride. That was really great. But yeah, Space Mountain, Haunted Mansion, and Pirates were my favorite rides. And of course, you know, Disney went and did the movie, and it was a big success, and they did a second one, and it wasn't as much as a success, probably to the fans, but it made money. They all made big mega bucks. Third one, I liked the third one just for the ending, the battle on the 2 ships in the whirlpool and all that. I thought was really kind of cool. And David, whatever. And they did the 4th one with the mermaids. That's all I'll say. You know, it's Johnny Depp doing the same thing again, and you know, it's pirate action and humor, but I was disappointed with the 3D. I mean, there's a few things, you know, swords coming out and gun barrels and things, cannonballs and stuff, but you know, again, I seem to be more disappointed when it's not a full screen presentation, and I think most 3D fans understand that, because when you get the full frame filled up with an image, the 3D really works better than if you have a letterbox, and you know, you're although they're doing things now like with Life of Pi, and what was the guinea pig movie, G-Force, where there are black bars, but if something comes out of the screen, it'll go over the black bar. So it actually looks like it's coming out of the screen over that black mat. Like the fish, when the flying fish were in Life of Pi, a few of them come right out, and here's the black at the top, and the fish comes out of the screen into the black. So they do that little bit, which is kind of fun and surprising when it does happen. But anyway, those, I'm not even going to open it. It's heavy. It's a Disney when they cared, and there's probably 8 discs in there and all kind of tchotchkes. It's funny nobody brought this up when the Ghostbusters trailer came out. Yeah, when the Ghostbusters trailer came out, everybody was the remake, and everybody was like bitching about it and how it's not good and it looks slapsticky and the original wasn't and blah blah blah. And the first thing that came to mind is like, you know what this looks like? This looks like the trailer to Pixels, and I got that vibe from the Ghostbusters trailer, like when I saw the trailer to Pixels. I was kind of excited because I've seen the original short, which I don't believe is on here, is it? Cuba, Game On, Creator, Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, I don't think the original short, if you go to YouTube and do Pixels short film, you'll see where the original short film idea for this movie came from. And then the studio saw it and they says, we gotta make a big budget movie, and let's throw Adam Sandler and all the people in there that everybody loves, and we'll make it all big and goofy and non-necessary, because the short was adequate and great for what it was. It's only like a 5-minute short, but it's really well done. So look up Pixels, the short film, on YouTube. But this one, yeah, another one of those that was panned by the critics. Every Adam Sandler film, you know, is going to get panned by the critics. I don't think, other than Punch Drunk Love, which was way back in the probably early 2000s, maybe mid 2000s. Did he get critical acclaim for acting? And that was an Anderson. I loved that movie. And it's not on Blu-ray. Come on, folks. You know, you got Magnolia, you got Boogie Nights, and There Will Be Blood. Where's Punch Drunk Love? Come on. Anyway, I enjoyed this. I knew it was going to be really bad going in. I picked it up just because it was 3D. And, you know, here's your lenticular. I want to show those off. I just heard nothing but really bad stuff about it. And so I ended up picking it up because it's a 3D. And it's like, all right, nothing else is coming out that week. I'll pick it up and see how bad it is. And I primed myself, which probably is the key. Either a little whiskey or a little bit of wine. Wine. Try the wine. Food all right? Have another glass. Or beer, you know, and pizza and popcorn. And, you know, you prime yourself and go, okay, this is one of these movies I'm going to watch, and I'm going to lambash and yell at the screen how stupid it is. I had a freaking great time. I laughed. I enjoyed it. Peter Dinklage was pretty much underused. But it was, you know, and I say this right off the bat, when you start a movie and Kevin James is the president of the United States, what do you expect? Are you expecting something great? Come on, Paul Blart as the president of the United States. You know, you see that and you go, okay, it's one of those movies. All right, yeah, great. Brains at the door, and let's just watch the spectacle. Let's watch the special effects and see how the 3D effects are, and let's see the hilarity, whatever there is. And I had a great time. Didn't think about it. Just went in, enjoyed it. Loved all the little special effects sequences. Really liked the whole Donkey Kong ending thing. I thought that was really fun. And the 3D helped it a lot. Because if I saw it flat, I'd probably be even more with it. But the 3D really did enhance the viewing experience for me, in my opinion. So Pixels is in my collection. I had no desire to pick this movie up at all when it came out. Same with Cars. I had no idea that I would get Cars in my collection, or Cars 2 for that matter. But being a 3D fan, when you get in those lulls, when there's months and there's no 3D releases, you start looking around and you go, well, yeah, the reviews on Cars were pretty good. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll watch it. And by that time, because you don't buy it right off, the price comes down. So you don't feel so bad buying something that's just for the collection that you really probably don't want to watch. So I got both Cars movies in, and the same with this. And there was a time, gosh, there was a time they must have promoted this movie for an entire year before it came out, because I got so sick and tired of that Top Gun type trailer that they did. In the plane. And talking about Disney's planes. Yeah, the kind of pseudo sidebar to Cars. Non-lenticulous, but picked it up, and I figured, I mentioned kind of in the past that a lot of times when there's flying scenes in movies and they're in 3D, that separation of the plane being out of the screen and there's clouds in the background really has a nice effect and kind of gives you a little dizzying effect. So that was one. I was like, well, planes, even though it's like a CGI, Pixar type thing. It is Pixar, isn't it? It'll probably look good in 3D, and it did, and it does. So yeah, it's in the collection. Planes. Got not much to say about it. It's the universe where there are no people, and all the machines talk and have lives and love affairs and relationships and cars and planes. And then Planes 2 came out, and it was in 3D, but of course the US decides, well, we're not going to release that on 3D. No one's watching 3D anymore. So I believe, is this Inglés, Español? I got this from Mexico. Planes 2 in 3D. This is something rescue, right? Is it English anywhere? No. Rescue something. Rescue Rangers. It's Planes 2, and they're putting out forest fires, And this, the 3D was. I'm so glad I imported this, because this blew this one away, in my opinion. With all the special effects of the fires and dropping the water and the flying scenes and the action scenes and that. This was a lot of fun. Again, I imported this from Mexico, and I'm glad I did. Something in rescue. Planes, Equipo de Rescue. Equipo. I'm not even saying that right. Equipo. What would Equipo mean in English? I don't know. Planes 2 is in my 3D collection. If you want this, because it is available. It's available. If you're in the North America and you're like, I wish they had Planes 2 in 3D. You can just import it. It might be a little more with shipping, but you can get it, and the 3D is really good in this. It's not converted. It's the 3D version that was at the theaters, and yeah, and the presentation is great, and it's better than this, in my opinion. This was a pretty early buy, because I do remember seeing this in the IMAX theaters when it originally came out. And I was pretty blown away by it. A lot of people were creeped out by the animation style, especially the eyes of the characters. And this was Robert Rodriguez's first attempt, not Robert Rodriguez, Robert Zemeckis' first attempt with an animated film called The Polar Express. And it was in 3D IMAX originally, and it was fantastic. Tom Hanks plays like every part. I think he even plays the kid, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. This is just about an every year watch for me. When the holidays come around, I do put this in and watch the 3D version, and I love it. My favorite part of all time in this movie, and it still gives me chills, is that one aerial shot. I believe it's when Santa Claus first comes out. You see the shadow, and the kids are like, oh, yeah, he's coming. And all the elves start singing, you better watch out, you better not cry. And it just goes over all the thousands of elves. And in 3D, it looks fantastic. The snow in 3D looks great. The scene when the ticket goes flying out and you follow it and get picked up by the eagle and then down into the ground and the wolves. And it's great. The 3D presentation is fantastic. If you've only seen this in 2D and you do have someone that with a 3D TV, see this one on 3D. It's really, really great. I'm glad I got it. I picked it up early, so it's a full version. No, it's only one disc. I lied. Anyway, I got the slipcover with the lenticular 3D. Ooh. Anyway, yeah, it's an every year watch. This, again, No, I have no desire to see this movie. And they're marketing it all wrong. And why are you touching a classic that does not need to be remade? And we're talking about Poltergeist with a scary clown. You know the original clown in this? Remember, everybody goes, boy, that clown was scary. He was sitting in a chair and then it attacked a little boy under the bed. And if you look at that movie, that clown's face wasn't scary. He was happy. This clown face is scary. In Spielberg's, or Tobe Hooper, whoever, the lighting made it scary. And the idea that the kid's waking up in the middle of the night and the lighting is just hitting it in a certain way where the clown looks scary. And that's why he doesn't like the clown and throws the coat, which has Chewbacca looking at him instead. They made the clown scary from the beginning. And what the hell? And even when they're first looking through the house, before they buy the house, at the very beginning, the kid is already scared of the house. He knows something's wrong. And the innocence, the magic of what the original classic movie is, gosh, I can do a whole video on this in the remake, is that they were just kids having a great time, and they bought the house, and the kid climbed the tree which eventually tried to eat him. And then he told his dad during the storm when he saw the lightning and it was outside his bedroom window, he says, I don't like the tree, Dad. I don't like the tree. But before, he didn't mind the tree. He was climbing up, and then he saw the storm. It's a big storm coming. God, I love the original Poltergeist. And then the whole ending with the swimming pool in it. You know, and then how can you... Zelda Rubinstein. Is that her name? The little medium lady? Well, she was short, but medium. And then they changed it in this, you know. And you know, and this has what's his name, which is one of my favorite actors, Sam Rockwell. I really do like his work. But just from seeing the trailers alone, and you know, everybody has these big screen, flat screen TVs, right? When you lose the signal, it just goes black, doesn't it? It doesn't go static. Well, that was back in like when people had tube TVs and you lost a signal and would go static. Our new TVs, everything just goes black. Or you see the screen, Comcast not available. Call your... But in here, the big flat screens go, and then Carol Ann goes, they're here. But you know, it has its moments. I don't mind not having this, because I'll always have. No, I'll always have the original, and no one's taken that away. It's always there they should have converted that and made that in 3D. Just imagine Jo Beth Williams running down the hall as it's stretching. That 3D effect would look so cool, even though it looks cool now and it's 2D. They should convert that movie into 3D and re-release it at the theaters instead of making the remake. But you know, but like I said, it has its moments. The 3D in here is kind of okay. Again, it has its moments. There's some really nice depth in it. I don't remember many pop-ups. You know, movie, again, modern horror movies rely on jump scares and loud noises, and, you know, yeah, it is what it is. Pompeii. Sight unseen, decided to pick it up. I was, you know, what helps this movie is the 3D presentation. During the explosions at the end, there's rubble, there's smoke, there's ambers, there's everything flying out of the screen and floating in the ambers, and then the 3D presentation really helps this movie. You know, it is what it is. It's a disaster film, a historic disaster film, as it were. And I love disaster films. I love seeing destruction, you know, and anything, you know, San Andreas or whatever. I love destruction in movies, and if it's in 3D and things go flying out of the screen, so be it. I'll enjoy it. You know, it's not the greatest movie. It's not as good as sliced bread on toast, you know, with some nice marmalade. But it's but it is what it is, and it's in my collection. I didn't get no slipcover. It probably did come with one, but I bought it late, I guess. Who's in it? Kiefer Sutherland's in this. Again, I only saw this once, so I don't remember much about it. Emily Browning. Anybody on the front? Oh, there's a whole bunch. Kit Harington. Carrie-Anne Moss is in this. From Matrix to Pompeii, from Pompous. Jessica Lucas, Jared Harris, Kiefer Sutherland. And they're kissing while the volcano erupts around them. Anyway, it's in the collection. Controversy. Controversy. Dun, dun, dun. Good Prince song. Old Prince song. Yeah. Why did they use the bad version for this? Why couldn't they use the, but I watch it, and yeah, again, the 3D the depth is there. Being in a forest location really helps. The 3D really helps it. Gives it a nice depth. There's some shots that don't work. Are kind of just flat. I can't do that thing. Yeah, Arnold. Get to the chopper. Terrible. Cool lenticular case, though. I kind of like that. That's kind of cool. But yeah, they use the old waxy, I forgot what they call it now. It's off the top of my head. The print where there's no pores and it looks waxy and that. But being in 3D, and that's all we got. Roger had to buy it in 3D, and I enjoy it. I love this movie. I watch it at least once a year, and now I'm always watching this version. And the old picture quality doesn't bug me as much because I'm watching it in 3D, and that to me is a bonus, because who would have thought Poltergeist? Who would have thought Predator would be in 3D? But dealing you, yeah. I see past the imperfections of the print. And there is grain. There's grain in here, but it's... yeah, you don't like it, you don't like it, I like it, I like it. Speaking of movies I only saw once and I know nothing about, brilliant, engaging, and quite possibly the most original vampire movie you'll ever see. The war is eternal. His mission is just the beginning. Unrated. With Paul Bettany. Priest. Yeah, only saw it once. Couldn't tell you one damn thing about it. I seem to remember it being dark in a lot of scenes. And I think this might have been natively shot in 3D. Again, not sure, but I do not know. No, sir, I do not know. Like I said, I haven't watched it in a long time. There's the inside with some tchotchkes. So I can't say much about it. Oh. More controversy. But I had to pick this version up because it has that amazing documentary on the entire creation of this film. I enjoyed it. I love the visuals in it. Yeah, it's got a lot of bad problems to it and a lot of things where you scratch your head going, why are they doing that? But I think the spectacle and some of the great scenes, like when she's in the operating thing, really outweigh the badness of it. Prometheus, Ridley Scott. I'm a proponent of Ridley Scott films, good or bad. Let's hope Blade Runner 2 is good. I hope they just don't call it Blade Runner 2. I hope they call it Blade Runner and then a tagline. I hate the numbers. I've always hated numbers. Back in the day, you didn't have... let me think of one. I'm not going to be able to think of one now because I'm trying to think of one. Where the second movie was called something else, Yeah. Oh, gosh, I'm going way back to Tarzan. Tarzan, the Man of the Jungle. And the second movie was called Tarzan, the King of the Waterfalls. The third one was Tarzan, Jane's #1 mate. They had different names, and now it's Tarzan 1, Tarzan 2, Tarzan 3. I always hated that. Just be smart and create a name. We know it's a sequel. Come on. But this is the version you need because, or you should pick up, even if you don't have a 3D set, because it does have that gigantic, The Furious Gods, The Making of Prometheus. It's a feature-length documentary. It might even be longer. But yeah, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 disc set. And I think the 3D works in here, man. When he opens up that star map, and you know the thing here, and he's standing in the center, and it's out in your face and everything, and yeah, I'm not going to go too much into it. Maybe I was talking to someone last night in a hangout, you know, what I'm going to do after I'm done with my collection videos. And I might go back and start doing like little retrospectives on certain series of movies, like do just a video just talking about the Alien movies or the Lethal Weapon movies or the Die Hard movies, stuff like that. And I might go back and then we'll talk about this. But right now, yeah, it's in my collection. I enjoy it. I thought the presentation was very good. And that disc is fantastic because it's huge and it's big. It comes with that all those extras. This is another spin-off film from a group of movies that I do not have in 3D. No, sir, I do not have the Shrek films. I think all three of them were converted. Wow, there's snow on the ground. It snowed so much that there's snow on the grass. It feels like December again. No, it doesn't. But Puss in Boots. Puss in Boots. They spun him off. The Antonio Banderas character. I am Puss in Boots. I picked it up because it was 3D, and yeah, it was like, nothing else out this week, so I'll pick it up. And it's fun. It's like the Shrek films. It's got, you know, the little puns here and there. Whoa! Good, it didn't break. It just popped out, that's all. Just put it back in, it'll be fine. Anyway, yeah, it's got the 3D in there and all the discs, this is. But again, watched it once when I got it. Haven't gone back to it, so I couldn't tell you much about how much of the stories. I believe that a lot of the characters, a lot of the side characters, I don't think Shrek makes an appearance. But I do think like the gingerbread guy and all the other people, like Guillermo del Toro produced this. Wow. Yeah, Chris Miller directed, Tom Wheeler, Hugh Henry Jackson, yeah, DreamWorks. Yeah, Puss in Boots. Puss in Boots. That's Dracula. I do not say blah. And now we're up to the cues. No, we're not. There are no cues. I don't have any cues. Do you have any cues? Put them down below. Any questions? This is an import from, I believe, the UK. Audio, English, German, French. Yeah, I think this is, yeah, it's all English. So I believe this was from the UK. Yeah, you looked at the top of my head. Was that entertaining? Another movie that was, you know, Pixar was doing the old, when Toy Story 3 came out, it was in 3D. And then they said, hey, let's make Toy Story 1 and 2. Let's convert them and put them in 3D. And then Disney, you know, did Beauty and the Beast. And they did Monsters Inc. You know, they made that after Monsters University came out and it was in 3D. And this was one of the movies that they converted into 3D, and they released it for a short time. Finding Nemo was another one, where they released it, Pixar films, at the theaters. And when the Blu-ray came out, they just re-released the Blu-ray, because the Blu-ray of this movie was already out, but they didn't release the 3D movie. So I looked around, and thanks to the Blu-ray.com forums, the 3D forums, I found out this was available in the UK, and I picked it up. And it's a great movie. It's called Ratatouille. Ratatouille, ratatouille. And there were rumors that they were going to do The Incredibles next, and apparently they were working on it, and I believe it was scrapped, and maybe it's completed. I don't know, but nobody's released it yet, and I would love to see The Incredibles. Now watch, they're working on Incredibles 2. I bet when that gets released at the theaters, it'll be in 3D, and then they might go and say, oh, let's take our Incredibles that we converted and release that. But I bet it won't be here in America. It'll just be like in the UK and that. But anyway, yeah, I imported this. The 3D works in it. I enjoy it. The movie, I know it's all upside down. If you guys want Ratatouille in 3D, import it. It's available. Just like Frozen is available in 3D. You just got to import it. Pay a little bit more for shipping to get it to you, but at least you'll have it in your collection. Oh, and you'll need an all region with a lot of these. Not all of them. A lot of them are region A or all region. But some of them are locked, B or whatever. But, you know, $125, $150, find an all-region 3D Blu-ray player, and you can enjoy these in your own home. This was a super cheap. I picked this up. It's another IMAX. I believe it's only like 40 minutes again. Don't look at the top of my head. I'm embarrassed. My gray hairs. Yeah, Rescue. Rescue 3D. Not Rescue 911. Yeah, this was like a super cheap. It was probably $9.99 or something. I saw it on the shelf. I said, it's an IMAX. Yeah, it's an IMAX film. Again, I've talked about IMAX, and I picked it up, and it's, it's adequate. Well, look, they list all the IMAX films. There's the disc. But if you look at the background, come out to there. They kind of advertise. I don't want to get a glare. All like the IMAX films, and they're all these were all like 40 minutes, an hour long. And there's that Dinosaurs Alive in Wild Ocean, and see they put them in like a 3-pack of that one I showed. And anyway, another IMAX in the collection. Oh boy, you people are gonna hate me. No, there's a fan base to this, and I'm part of that fan base. I played the game. Yeah, I played the game. And it was fun. Just the first one. I only played the first game. It was fun. And then I heard George Romero was attached to a movie version. I was like, oh, kick ass. Excuse me. And I do believe, excuse me, George Romero directed one of the ads, the commercials for one of the games. It might have been 2 or 3. Which was really kind of cool. It was like a 30-second ad for the new game coming out. But anyway, they went with somebody else. They went with Paul W.S. Anderson, and they did the Resident Evil movies. And in the R's of my Defending collection, you can see that I have Part 1, 2, and 3, which get progressively worse as they went on. But then 4th one came out, Afterlife, and I picked it up. And it's in 3D, and boy, out of all the movies, I hear more flack about this, how ridiculous and stupid it looks and that. But again, it was meant to be seen in 3D. The mouth's opening and the things coming out, and it looks so laughable in 2D, but when you see the slow-mo effects and her flying, Mila Jovovich, who's candy on the eyes, Leela is Doctor Who, right? Lilu, yeah. Multipass, chicken, good. It's hot in here. Thinking of Mila. Yeah, the 3D works in here for me. I enjoy the, this is another one of those brain at the door. You could do this, make it nice, and then you can close it, put it on the shelf, and it'll sit there for a year, and then you'll take it out, and you'll look at it, and it'll be upside down. Because I know when I put these away, I put them normal, and whatever. The case is kind of cool because it's it's not lenticular, but it's like a depth. I don't know what I'm saying. And then this one came out, Retribution, which was considered to be the last one, but no, there's one more coming, which is going to be the last one. This one I enjoyed too because it kind of opened up what you saw in those other movies, like what are we doing here in Japan or Tokyo, and then what are we doing here in this location, the desert, and then you find out they're all part of the umbrella corporation's like holodeck thingy that is in this underground thing, and they all kind of come together, and the opening is cool because it's in slow-mo, super slow-mo, and it's all reverse of an attack that begins at the end of this one. And then at the very end of the credits, you see that attack in normal speed going forward, and then the movie continues on. And apart from the Zack Snyder Dawn of the Dead opening, where all hell starts breaking loose and the wife wakes up and is attacked by the husband and the daughter and going out and the neighborhood's going crazy, this comes the next, in my eyes, of a zombie outbreak when you don't know what's happening. Even though it's all a... yeah. So, exactly, Raj. That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, I said that right, didn't I? Yeah. Anyway, there's the old discs. It comes with a bunch of tchotchkes. And, they're in the set, and I have put them in a few times just to watch, maybe the full thing, or just a scene or two of them, just to get some eye candy and 3D explosiveness, you know. So they're in my collection. Going back to Rio. This is one of those that I heard real good things about the 3D, you know, confetti and the colors and the vibrance and just visually beautiful to behold, especially in 3D. And I'm talking about Rio 3D. And yeah, I really enjoy it. It's a fun movie. Again, I love family films. This is a big fat Disney, right? Or is this DreamWorks? Doesn't say. From the creators of Ice Age, so I'm guessing DreamWorks. But boy, it's loaded. You get one, 2, 3, 4 discs. Yes. Yeah, and it is. It is just that. It's fun. It's cute. If you have kids, they're probably going to love the thing. If you're young at heart, like I am, I enjoy it. I go to that part of my life, and I just open the brain up and go, hey, let's have fun and have a nice family innocent film. And boy, it's beautiful. The colors, like I said, the colors pop and the 3D pops, and there's a lot like confetti and stuff and things, you know, really, really nice. And the same goes for its sequel. I need to use my pen to get this thing off. Rio 2. With the price thing on there. Yeah, no lenticular, but again, and not as heavy. I bet there's only like 3 discs in here. 1, 2. There's only 2. So why even have that? I don't know. Why have that? Oh, the third one was covered by the Chachis. But yeah, same thing. Again, it's been a while, but I seem to remember liking this one a little more than the first one. I don't know why, because it's been a while since I've seen them. I mean, geez, look at all the 3D movies I have. I always just go to a certain one, and there you go. But, yeah, I enjoy it. Again, beautiful to look at. Colors, 3D, really nice. Only 3 more. Hour 10. Maybe this video will be an hour and 15, like most of them. I like these little short ones. These aren't short. These are still long. Somebody said, you know, Men in Black. That Men in Black movie was good. Everybody loved it. The third one didn't do too well. No, it didn't do well. Let's do another Men in Black, but instead of aliens, let's make them ghosts. So somebody got the idea to do R.I.P.D. And it's basically Men in Black with ghosts. And Jeff Bridges, you know, what are you going to say? I like Jeff Bridges. Always did, always will. Is that who I think it is, too, on the cover? Ryan Reynolds. Kevin Bacon. I didn't even know Kevin. Mary Louise Parker. It's been a while since I seen this one. Wow. Yeah, basically, yeah, it's Men in Black with ghosts. 3 disc. No, 4 disc. Yeah, 3 disc set. 3D has its moments. There's a few pop-outs here and there. You know, giant ugly ghosts running around, and has some funny moments. You know, like when they change, when he turns into the good-looking girl, and he turns into the old not James Wong. Is it James Wong? Lopan from Big Trouble. This is really pissing me off to no end. Yeah, it is what it is, and it's got kind of a lenticulous cover, but it's nothing special. I'd still go back and watch Men in Black, the original. There's another one with a price I got to take off. Exactly. It says new, perfect for Easter. When I first saw this, I said, you know, this would make a great little Easter film, and there aren't many Easter. Well, maybe there are. But a DreamWorks animated family film, and I really liked it. And the 3D I really, really liked. Rise of the Guardians. I like the idea of the Easter Bunny and Santa and the Sandman and all the characters. I really like their look and their style and their characterizations in this. And the little Easter eggs that get out with the little legs. And Yeah, this Jack Frost, the opening with Jack Frost, sliding around, skating around on the ice and making the ice the frost stuff, and the 3D is really, really nice in this movie. I really like this, and this is one of those kind of yearly movies, although I did not watch it this year, Easter, which was a week or so ago. So maybe I'll throw it on. But then again, I didn't watch Passion of Christ either, so I don't know when I'll ever watch that again. That's something to go through. Yeah, makers of How to Train Your Dragon. Rise of the Guardians. If you haven't seen it, check it out, especially if you had kids. And if you're looking for something for family viewing on Easter, this is very adequate for that. And if you have a 3D setup and you haven't picked this up yet, pick it up, because the 3D really is nice in this. Very good presentation on that. Here's a movie. This is the last one, our last movie of the day. And to be totally honest, I only saw maybe the half hour of this movie, and I went, well, I'm going to go on to something else. I'll come back to this later. And I've had this thing, gosh, years, and I've never went back to it. Run, not Run DMZ, just Run. Parkour in 3D. William Moseley, Kelsey Chow, Eduardo Ballerini, Craig Henry, Adrian Pascar, Eric Roberts. I know that name. Usually when you know Eric Roberts is in a movie, you can kind of figure, oh, okay. Yeah. Not like the old, what they built my thumbs, Pope of Greenwich Village. Oh, God. I don't even think that's on Blu-ray. Is that on Blu-ray? Right down below. Let me know if that's on Blu-ray. I could just go, I know, but I'm putting you to work. Do something. Yeah, it's kind of I think kind of a mistaken identity, and everybody's after him for some reason, and he could do parkour, and it's shot in 3D from what I understand. It is native, but I don't know, something about the story, it just didn't hook me in the first half hour, and I moved on to something else. So yeah, it's called Run. It's not even a cheapo eco, it's a normal case. But I have maybe 10, maybe plus 10 movies that I really should watch again of the 3D movies, just because to refresh my memory, and maybe because I haven't seen them, like Run. Maybe it'll be a good movie. Maybe it is a good movie. I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know. But anyway, so there we go. Those are the P's, the Q's. No, they're not the Q's. And the R's. The P's and the R's of my 3D collection. We're done for another episode. Season 2 of Defending My Collection, the 3D movies. There, I let one out just for you guys that love my belches. So anyway, yeah, that's it. Next we're going to go into the R's. I do have... no, the S's, dummy. I know, but you said R's. I know. Just tell them the right thing. Just leave me alone. I'm trying here. I'm trying, folks. Yeah, the S's are next, and that'll be next week on the new 3D Season 2 episode of Defending My Collection. I hope those people that fell down this hole of lunacy enjoyed this video, if you stuck around this long. Again, this video is in no way telling you, or I hope you look at these and go, you know, I don't have a 3D set. Why should I watch about 3D? Oh, I'm still talking about the movies themselves. And the movies themselves are available in 2D on Blu-ray. So that's probably one of the benefits of watching these videos, the 3D collection videos, just because I'm still telling you if the movies are good or not, or if you should kind of check them out. And I hope you do give me a chance, or give my choices a chance. And I know a few of you have, because I've read some of your messages in the past videos saying I would have never thought about watching that movie, and I'm glad I did. Thanks for recommending it. And that's kind of what I'm talking about. I'm hoping that I could at least suggest some different things you might never even thought of watching or never even heard of. Like that Pena. If you're a Criterion person, get that Pena one. It comes in 2D too, but boy, if you have 3D, that's beautiful to watch. If you're into the modern dance and classical music and stuff like that. And jazz, and it's not all classical. But yeah, those are the P's, and we're going into the S's next. I got the stack right here, and that'll be coming up next week. So everybody, thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't. If you're a new person, please share or like or do whatever you want with this video. Because I don't care. I'm just going to keep doing them until my collection is done. And I actually have a great idea, at least in my mind, for a final video in my 3D series. And I'm not going to say what it is yet. It's going to be one extra video that I'm going to tag on to the playlist after I get to the Z's, after I'm done with the alphabet. I got a kind of a cool idea, and I'm going to do it, and no one can stop me. Damn it. So, anyway, I'm glad you guys are watching it, and I hope you had a good time. I hope I made you laugh. I hope I made you think. I hope I made you throw things at the camera saying, "Shut up, you old fart. You don't know what you're talking about. Prometheus sucks." And Poltergeist was one of the best movies ever made. The remake. But anyway, I'm talking enough. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Tune in again next week and watch my other videos, my Thursday Throwback Theater, where I go through an older movie that maybe you've forgotten and I've forgotten, and I decide to watch and give a little take on it. Saturday nights is usually my IMO reviews, where I look at a newer movie and give you my take on it. And whatever happens, oh, and then Sunday nights, I do a Sunday shout out to those people who subscribe to me. Kind of my thank you to them for subbing to me and being a collaborator and a participant in on my channel. And I give them, I single out one subscriber of mine and give them a shout out and try to hope other people, my viewers, will go and sub to them and help their channels. My little thank you payback to them, and I hope everybody's enjoying those, and whatever else I decide to do during the week. So yeah, keep looking through my channel, go back, look at my old stuff, and we'll see you in the next video. All right, it's old Roger D from Channel Donstar. Old Roger D from Channel Donstar. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Happy birthday if today's your birthday. All right, bye-bye.